All right, third time is a charm. That's how many attempts that this has happened. The first time I lost my train of thought. The second time I didn't hit record and just sat and talked to myself. So that is a lot of fun. um, Today is our last day of tips to help you to quit yelling. And I'm really excited to share this. These have been so well received, and I'm so grateful because you know that when your home has chaos and yelling, it makes homeschooling so much harder. And part of my goal is to help you make it as easy as humanly possible. And when you can come and teach from this place of love, this place of patience, of understanding, homeschool just gets to be fun. And so I'm so grateful that so many people love this and have been really enjoying these. With that being said, this October 1st is the kickoff for the No Yelling Boot Camp. It's when it starts. And actually, today is the first class. It will be recorded if you decide to join Mama's members by the 30th. You'll have access to all of this. I will be doing the weekly videos and coaching you and helping you because that's where we often get stuck. Like, we can hear all the great information and, like, okay, I get it. I'm going to be calm. I'm going to do all these things. And then your kid has a gigantic fit and they lost the brand new shoes that you spent $70 on or whatever it is, right? And you're like, how do I handle that? What do I do in that situation, right? So that's the power of coaching, is that we actually get to apply it to your personal situation. We're going to dive in really deep and do all those fun things. So if you haven't yet, come over and join me over in Mama's Members. And friends, I have made it so ridiculously affordable. It's $35 a month. I can't even take my family out to eat for that type of money. It costs my family, I don't know, 70, $80 to go out to eat to a fast food joint. Um, so I made it so affordable because I know if you invest in yourself and you work on creating that change within you, it starts to create the change within your own home. And that's the power of moms, is that they have the power to do that. So I would love to invite you to come invest in yourself and come and join No Yelling Mamas. Hey, this is what's fun, Mamas members. Um, your membership actually covers you and your husband. So if your husband is on board and was like, yes, we want to become a No Yelling family, we both want help, one membership for the whole family. If you have a team, they can use that membership and they can sign up for private sessions under your membership, all those things. So this is a family pass. So, anyways, come and check that out. All right, let's dive into today's final tip. Tip 5, skills to help kids listen. So, like I said in tip number 1, it is 80% mindset and 20% skill. That means we do want to have some skills. So, here are my steps within the step of skills to help your kid listen. That is one of the things I have found when people say what they get triggered by is kids not listening. And that's one way that they can quickly go from about a 2 to a 10 when they ask their kid to do something and their kid hasn't done it. So, if your kid does not listen to you, this is what I want you to do. The very first thing to do is to stay calm. Now, how do you stay calm when your kid did not listen to you? Calm is a feeling, right? Feelings are created by a story we tell ourselves. So if you want to feel calm towards your child who did not listen to you, what story do you need to have ready? Oh, maybe they didn't hear me. Let me try again. I'm teaching them. This is not a problem. Whatever it is that helps you to feel calm. Because if you show up with annoyance and frustration, your kid is not going to be open and receptive, like, oh, yes, please, mommy, come yell at me. Then I'll do whatever you tell me to do. If they do what you do when you yell at them, they're doing it out of fear, not out of respect or anything like that. It's out of fear, right? I don't know about you, but I don't want to be parenting out of fear because that's exhausting and I only have so much energy. So, first, you need to stay calm. So, be very aware of the story that you have that maybe has been triggering the annoyance, the frustration, the irritation, the disrespect, whatever feeling that that creates for you, and think of a new story. This is not a problem. Nothing's gone wrong. Whatever that story is for you to feel calm. Next, you're going to go to your child and you're going to do two things. You're going to minimize distractions. So if they have headphones in and you've been shouting, it's pretty obvious why they haven't been listening to you. If you go to your child and they are on a screen, a TV, a tablet, a cell phone, it's pretty obvious why they're not listening to you. If they're in a heated game with their siblings, they are reading a book, you have to minimize the distraction, right? Like, oh, let's pause this. Oh, can you put a bookmark in that real quick? Hold on your game 1 second. You'll be able to go. We'll get this going, right? So minimize those distractions. Get at their level, right? So if you are taller than your kids, maybe you're like me, where most of your kids are taller than you. But if you're taller than your kids, get down to their level. Sit by them, crouch down, lean down, right? If my older kids are on a couch, I could sit by them, right? I want to be at their level and really connect with them and look them in the eyes. Then I want to kindly, and how do we act kindly? By a feeling, which is created by a thought we tell ourselves, right? So if you're gritting your teeth and you're mad and you're asking them to do something, that's not very kindly, right? If you're like, I'm so annoyed and I don't want to do this whole charade and I just want you to listen to me and I just want, when I say jump, I want you to say how high, and you ask them to do something from that space, they're probably not going to be too excited about it. So we want to be kind about it, right? Think about if somebody asks us something kindly. We are much more inclined to listen. So if you're a child, you go to them, you're down at their level, you've minimized distractions, you looked them in the eye, maybe they're touching, you can give them a hug or rub their arm or something like that, right? Then you kindly give them a directive and you ask them to repeat it to you. Hey friend, how are you? I need you to go finish your schoolwork, okay? What do I need you to do? You want me to do my schoolwork? Yes, thank you so much, right? Which leads us to the final step, which is praise. This is the step that gets so looked over. We are so quick to say, here are all the times my kid didn't listen. Here are all the times my kid's a punk or whatever it is. But how often are we looking for the opposite? And how often do we tell them thank you for doing the things we do ask them to do? How many times has your kid listened to you and you're like, well, you should. I'm the parent. You should just listen to me, right? Praise them for being a good listener. Whether it's right then, so let's say you said, hey, I need you to go do your school, and they go do your school. And you say, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I know you were having so much fun playing that game. Thank you for listening. You're such a good listener. You amaze me. You could say, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I appreciate how well you listen. You can even practice this on all the things, right? Let's say it's something fun where you're yelling down to your kids, yelling, because I'm like doing no yelling, but I mean like, hey friend, come in, let's eat dinner. I made your homemade pizza that you love, like, and we have this big dinner, and they run up the stairs, and you're like, wow, you are such a good listener. I asked one time, and you came up the stairs. You have no idea how much I appreciate when you come on the very first time I ask you. Thank you so much, right? Thank you for coming in the car and listening when I said it's time to go. You're so good at listening to directions. Awesome. Thank you. How often are you doing that praise piece? When we get praised on doing certain behavior, guess what happens? That behavior grows. This works for adults, this works for children, and it also works against it too, right? If we continually get pointed out, I think I said that weird, that's fine. If people keep pointing out to us things that we're doing wrong, we're either going to not try to do them anymore, or we're going to try to hide it because we're so sick of them being critical with us and negative with us, like, I can never do it right anyway, right? Or you become a people pleaser and like, oh, and have full anxiety because you're trying to please the other person. But as we just praise them, thank you for listening. You're so wonderful. I so appreciate you. These are the tiny little changes that as you start to make this, amazing things start happening in your family. All of a sudden you can say, hey, it's time to go, and people come. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's happening. It's like a sunrise, right? This doesn't happen like a light switch moment where we flip on a light, we make a few changes, and like our kids are like, yes, what did mom ask us to do? We want to do whatever she just asked us to do. No, it is like a sunrise. As you continue to be calm and patient and loving and understanding with your kids, these amazing things start happening where you start working together. Then you can even get to a point where they can talk to you and say like, hey, I can't do it right now, but could I? And you can start opening up communication and getting the full story of what's going on. Like, oh, I didn't realize you were knitting blankets for the poor right now. That does seem like a better use of your time than reading this book I was going to have you read, right? As we get into this and start building this relationship with them, we can get this full understanding. Why aren't they listening to me? What is going on? All those types of things. So, like I said, that was tip number 5 for not yelling at your kids. If you are ready to take this to the next level, You want to be coached on it. Like, okay, yeah, this is great, but let me tell you about my 3-year-old who's a punk. Oh, this is real awesome, Meg, but I have a 17-year-old that I'm about ready to kill. I get it. It's you can get stuck real easy. I would love, love, love to have you come and join us in Mama's Members, where I can help you and coach you through all of these steps. I will be giving a video a week during the next 2 months of October and November to really help you kick yelling to the curb. And actually, even as you continue on this process, you will no longer even desire to yell. And that is a really, really fun place to be. All right, friends, I love you all so much, and I will see you next week.